Good morning. Give it a couple more minutes for some people to jump in. I'd like to share my knowledge with as many people as possible at one time. Can everybody hear me okay? Video's okay? Okay. All right, we'll get started. My name's Ryan Phillips with Associates Title. I apologize for the twice canceled class. We had a little power issue, a little COVID issue, and all that good stuff. But here we are, and I'm going to do a couple classes with you. One is all about branding and how to for real estate, and keep your image the same everywhere you push it out there, and it'll help you gain some trust with future clients. And then also, we're going to talk about content marketing, just kind of a way to speak to your customers or potential customers, not at them. But hopefully, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, but hopefully I can give you some idea of some way to get going on a new branding campaign you're trying to do, or just build on something you're already doing. All right. To add. That's good. Keep my face on the side. And then again, Ryan Phillips with Associates Title. I've been doing this since 1994. I've done everything in the title business, from order entry to final policies and everything in between. Closed thousands of deals personally myself. Done tons and tons of stuff in the title business. But I kind of like to consider myself a resource as well. If you're working on a deal, I'm not involved, but you run into a roadblock, or maybe you're getting ready to go on a listing appointment and they said something to you, it kind of caught you off guard, maybe some old judgment or lien or something along those lines. Reach out to me. Use me as a resource, and hopefully I can help you get that deal to the table. All right, let's talk about our agenda. We're going to talk about what brand definition is. What's the definition of a brand? Brand consistency, that's the big part. The why, the how, and that we're here to help. I have a terrific co-star in Ann. She is a graphic designer and photographer by trade. So we're going to tell you how to do this stuff, but we can also work with you to do it. So if you have a question after class, or if you have something you're working on, you're running into a roadblock, hit us up, and we'll see if we can help get you going in the right direction. All right. Do your clients remember you? It's what we want to do is make sure that you stay top of mind to potential clients and past clients. I use this story as a good reference a little bit. My dad is a real estate broker, has been in the real estate business since the 60s. And he, about 3 years ago, his next door neighbor listed their house for sale with someone else. And he couldn't understand. He was totally perplexed by it. Why wouldn't they list their house with me? And I said, Dad, you may have had neighborly conversations with them about the fence, or about the kids, or whatever it might be. Maybe you mentioned you were a realtor one time. I said, Dad, that does not compete with the agents that are doing a great job staying in front of mind for their potential clients or their past clients. So that client was in some kind of CRM or whatever, or even on Facebook, whoever they're friends with there, they're constantly being bombarded by people saying that they're a realtor. My dad saying it one time can't keep up with someone else saying it 3 times a month. So that's what we want to try and help you do. Be consistent with your branding to stay top of mind. Do you find marketing material overwhelming or complicated to get started? There's a lot of things you can do. It depends on your market. It depends on your budget. It depends on a lot of things. So it can be complicated. We might be able to help you at least get started. You want a marketing strategy? Don't know where to start? That's what we're here for. We'll kind of talk about it. Start with the basics, expand from there. Do you want your clients to trust you before they even meet you? So what you see more and more often, we all know that referrals are the biggest source of business for you guys. But you have, if you're buying Zillow leads, you're buying Realtor.com leads, you're buying any kind of leads, these people need to trust you a little bit before they even meet you. And the way you present your brand can help do that. And then also, if someone's in your area, they don't know a realtor and they've seen your material over and over again, and it's been consistent, it looks the same pictures, same colors, same fonts, same everything, it builds a little bit of trust. There's a consumer psyche behind that, how it works in their head. If you answered yes to any of these questions, that's why we're here. So hopefully we can make it life a little easier for you and help you get going. All right, brand. What is brand? It's a name, a term, a design, a symbol, or any other feature that identifies one seller's as distinct from another seller's goods and services. So it's not just one thing. It's a combination of all of it. So it's a name. We all know these names, and it's examples. It's just, that's the name. Part of their brand is the name. So it can be that. It can also be a term. Just do it's been shoved down our throat for, I got to think, it's been 30 years now, over and over and over again. They don't even need to put Nike on there anymore. We know that Just Do It is Nike. So it's again, things have been presented to us in the same manner, in a consistent manner, over and over for a long time, that we can identify what they're talking about without them even saying the name of the product. It's the design. Let's talk about the three stripes in Adidas. It's just that little, it's the patch on the Carhartt. There's a design element that's put into a lot of brands that you can identify what brand it is without even seeing the name of the brand. And a symbol. This is probably the big one with these bigger companies, Under Armour, Nike, Mercedes, VW. Nike's kind of mastered this by paying these teams to put their swoosh on the jersey. Every time they show a player, Nike gets a tiny little commercial. So that's what's going on there. That they use that over and over again, and every player on the court has got that Nike swoosh on their uniform. So it's being drilled into our heads. Or it's a color. I don't know if UPS knew how far it would go with the brown, but because the brown it's just an awful color, but nevertheless they went with it, stuck with it, and now it is everywhere. It's on the packages, it's on the uniform, it's on their trucks, it's on their planes, it's all over the place. So they use that color consistently to get their brand across. It's not just a logo. Brand is not just your logo. It's more than your logo. It's your fonts. It's the colors you use. It's graphic elements that you use, writing style, and then how you put it all together. It's you're going to have your own little unique twist to it, but your brokerage has also been building their brand for a long time. Coldwell Banker, if it's that blue and white, you're going to build on it. And why make your insert red and black if you're a Coldwell Banker agent? It just kind of looks kind of hokey. Build on what your broker has already done. They have a font, they have a color. Use that. It's already been building trust already. Just plug your name into it to be part of it. All right, white swoop. Whose is it? We know who it is. It's been drilled into our head for so long that we know exactly what that is without saying the name of the product. So we know it's Coca-Cola. I can put another little twist on this. I can go to the next slide and watch how your brain will play a trick on you. It almost says Coca-Cola without you looking at it. I mean, without you reading it, you picture Coca-Cola right there. So again, the psyche behind it is that brand has been presented to us so consistently for so long that your brain will play a trick on you and plug in Coca-Cola right there. There's another way to look at it. Using the fonts, use a professional font. Use one that portrays a polished image. We take all these companies here in this slide and we give it some kind of goofy wing-ding font, something like that. It instantly takes away some of the credibility, some of the professionalism. It looks kind of circus or like children's MasterCard or something along those lines. So again, while there's maybe some good applications for Joker font, presenting your logo with that Joker font takes a little something away. So make sure you keep that in mind, that you use something that looks nice, crisp, clean, and professional. We've swapped these two, but your head plays a trick on you and tells you that, you know, we know that the right's Coca-Cola and the left is Pepsi, but just the feel of it there. Again, the consistency in their branding makes your brain automatically fill in the gaps. And that's what I want to happen for you. People see that some design element or something of yours, they've seen it over and over again. Their brain tells them what's next or who it is. All right, here's another example. This plastic bag floating in the ocean. You know, just presented like this, just as a picture, it doesn't mean much. I can add one little design element. If I do this, tell me what that is now. I just added a yellow rectangle around the picture. Whose brand is that? Anyone? Jacob? Liza? Anybody know who that is? Anyone? Anyone? Just that one little design element. There you go. There you go. Perfect. That's all you had to do. That has been drilled into our heads for so long that we knew exactly what it was without even putting any words or any titles or anything like that on there. And then you can see here, National Geographic carries that design element to their sub brands, to Traveler, to little kids. So, you know, if you're picking out a magazine of Bob's Little Kids Animal Book and a National Geographic one, you're going to go with the one that you trust a little more. You're a little more familiar with it. So it's you are a sub brand of your broker. Unless you're a broker yourself, I don't know who's in here as far as that goes. You're a sub brand of the broker. So take the design elements, take everything that your broker has already been working with, and make it your own. Brand consistency, repeatedly presenting the brand logo and brand elements in a similar way. So that's what we want you to do. Here, I'm going to give you some examples of brand consistency that people have been presenting like this. Here it is. You know, I don't know how old anyone here is, but when I would travel as a kid and we decided it was time to stop for lunch or whatever, you spot that from the freeway and you knew exactly what you were getting. You were so familiar. You trusted that if I pulled into McDonald's, the hamburger and the French fries I get here at this McDonald's are going to be the same one I get at the one by my house. So, and then you can see in the bottom right, they even just removed the name. They just went with the golden arches and that's it. That brand has been pounded down our throats for so long that they don't need to say the name of the restaurant. We know exactly what it is. Here's another example of it is how the brand is presented. FedEx. Everywhere you see the FedEx logo, it's presented in the same manner. Purple and orange with a white background. On the packages, on the planes, on the trucks, on everything, they present it in the same way over and over again because we're familiar with it. We trust it. I'm going to talk about the psyche that I'm talking about. Now, this might not apply directly to realtors, but it applies to the psyche of how a consumer goes through something. So you can plug in a realtor as the product in this, but the first time people look at any given ad, they don't even see it. Again, this is from 1885. So a lot of this just still carries over. It's still there. The second time, they don't notice it. It's just gone. Third time, they're aware it's there. Oh, I saw, you know, I drove past here yesterday. I drove past here the day before. I drove past here 3 days ago, last week, last month, whatever. I've seen it. The fourth time, they have a fleeting sense. They've seen it somewhere before. Might be in the same spot. They don't know where. But they know they've seen it, whether it be on your yard sign or whatever. The fifth time, they actually read the ad. Yeah, they take a moment to read what you've been pushing out for a long time. Sixth time, they thumb their nose at it. Okay, I read it. I don't even know anything more about that. The seventh time, they get a little irritated with it. I'd rather read something else. The eighth time, they start to think, there's that confounded ad again. It's starting to sink in. That consistency, it's starting to sink in a little bit. The ninth time, they start to wonder if they're missing out on something. It's just all right now that psyche is taken over, how their brain will work. The 10th time they asked their friends and family or friends and neighbors if they tried it. Okay, they saw that ad enough to start talking about it. The 11th time they wonder how the company is paying for all these ads. That stuff has to cost money. And the 12th time, that's where that comes in. And we go, well, it still costs a lot of money. They start to think it must be a good product. They must be selling a bunch of them. If they can afford all this advertising, it must be a good product if they're selling that many of them. 13th time, they feel the product has value. That's something I need. That's got something for me. The 14th time, they start to remember wanting a product exactly like this for a long time. Okay, their brain has tricked them into that. The 15th time, they start to yearn for it because they can't afford to buy it. Well, it's kind of expensive. I don't know. The 16th time, they accept the fact that they will buy the product sometime in the future. The 17th time, they make a note to buy it. All right, when I go to Lowe's this weekend, I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up. The 18th time, they curse their poverty for not allowing them to buy this terrific product. They go there, they pull it off on the shelf, they look at it. Is this really worth it? Whatever. The 19th time, they count their money very carefully. All right, I think I can do this. The 20th time, prospects see the ad, they buy what it's offering. 20th time, they had to see the ad 20 times. So and it had to be consistent. Why? So we're going to talk about why. Why is it important for us to present our brand in the same manner over and over and over again? It's going to bring out the emotion. It's going to bring out that psyche, that trust that we're talking about. Brand consistency is about trust. Excuse me. That's what we're doing this. We are earning trust with people we don't know by presenting that brand correctly and consistently. Brand consistency is about trust. In order for people to trust you, they have to feel like they know you. In order for them to feel like they know you, they must be aware of you, recognize you, and remember you. In order for people to recognize and remember you, they must show up in a way that's consistent. That's what we're getting at. There's companies out there all day. We went through a few of them that they just present it the same way. You know what you're getting when you go to one of these companies. That's trust. Look at this little Disney font, little something like that. It just throw out we're just throwing out examples at you. It doesn't say Disney, but we know it's Disney. So it's just they use their brand consistency to build trust and to suck us into bringing our kids to Disney and spending thousands and thousands of dollars. Brand guideline. So there's guidelines behind brands. It's not any old red, any old blue, any old font, any old design elements. There are guidelines to follow. Here's kind of an example. So this is guidelines for my company for Associates Title. See our full logo in the top left. Our full logo linear just below that. That's to go across the top of a website or something where I only have a limited area to present it. Down at the bottom left, the black and white version. If I'm printing closing docs, I put my logo on the closing docs, but I don't need to print those in color. So, for a kind of an informal place or whatever, you have a black and white version of your logo. In the top center are the design element of those circles. I have customers that have been with me since day one. And if I showed them just those circles, they'd know exactly what it was. They would not need to see the name. Be like that yellow rectangle on the Nat Geo. That's my yellow rectangle. On the right, you see the color codes. So your broker uses a specific blue, Caldwell Banker blue, Keller Williams red, whatever it might be. They have something like this for you. Say, if you said to your broker, hey, I'm going to get some flyers made or some things like that or whatever, I need to know the color codes for the blue we use. Because the first thing, if you send something to a graphic designer, say red, they're going to be like, what red? What blue? So there are codes for it. Then down the bottom, it tells you the fonts. Two different fonts we're using, alternative and then the accent font, and then styling. It tells how we do it. And in photos, you can see we use photos in the same manner with an overlay. When Ann came on, she wanted to tweak the design a little bit. You know, it was a little older, a little outdated, so we wanted to go with it. So you can see on the left, the associate's title part is kind of drowned out. So again, going back to the longtime clients, they call me AT. I mean, you know, I have clients that might not even know it's called associate's title. They just call it AT. So that was the left side. Stuff's kind of washed out there, and it's kind of mismatched a little bit. And redid it to the right, cleaned it up a little bit, put associate's title, put service period, all that at the bottom. So it just cleaned it up a little bit, but she kept the same design elements. It's kind of a lesson that if you want to do a rebranding, you know, don't go too far from what you've been building and what your broker's been building for years. Don't go crazy off the rails. Take some of the design elements, take some of the things that were in the old, and gradually change them. Talk about gradual change. Here's Nat Geo again. We're going to look at, you know, it started off as a border around the magazine, and it changed into that yellow rectangle as a border, and then they just went with it, and since they've used that for so long, and there's so many graphic or design elements that we know that make it Nat Geo. On the last one, part of the name of the magazine's covered up. They don't even need to say the name of the magazine. You know, we talked about it a little bit ago that you guys knew it was Nat Geo just by the rectangle. So again, they know they've nailed that design element to bring it out. And again, there's guidelines to these design elements. We're going to talk about one right here with Netflix. You know, there's with the arc of the vintage CinemaScope and the signature Netflix red, our word mark is iconic. So they have a whole website dedicated to their logo, telling you how to use it, how to present it. So right there, it looks rather simple. Maybe the curve on the bottom throws it off, but there's more to it than that. But they want the crossbar of the T to be the minimum border around Netflix on anything they put it on. So they want a maximum or a minimum of that width to be the border. And then they have specific colors. It tells you there that they're using that Netflix red, they call it, and it's that color. So again, while it just looked very simple as Netflix, it's nevertheless, it's got very specific ways that you present it. And here's considerations of how they don't want you to use the logo. Avoid doormats, rugs, or anything else people walk. Please protect our logo from getting dirty. So if you put it on a doormat, you know it's getting dirty. Don't put it there. Avoid scratch-offs, dartboards, other surfaces that are guaranteed to be damaged. It's something that's going to get torn apart. We love our logo to let it come to harm. So don't put it something like that. These are all examples. You can do whatever you want with yours, but this is just how Netflix wants theirs presented. Avoid disposable items such as plastic cups, paper napkins. Our logo is not designed to be crumpled, smeared with food, or tossed into the trash. So that's the way Netflix wants their broker or their information or their logo put out there. Your broker may have some kind of the same requirements. All right, we're going to do a little experiment here, not an experiment, just a little example. We're going to create our own brokerage, and we're going to put it out there in our consistent manner. So you can see on the left, full brokerage, example brokerage. The next one down is our black and white logo, and then the next one down with the black background and the white letters is just a twist on the logo to use it in different places. Top right, you see those two colors, the orange and the black. We're giving you our guidelines for example brokerage. Tells you what font, what styling, and how we want example brokerage put out there. So sub-brands following their parent brand instantly earn trust with the consumer. I mentioned this a minute ago. So because your broker is the brand, you are a sub-brand of your broker. Use what your broker has already been doing for quite some time and just incorporate those design elements into your new brand. All right, the how. We're going to talk about the how. How you build to a brand. Going to make some examples here. Ann is way too complimentary. And then Pat is my business partner. He heads up my purchase division. So if you're doing a purchase through me, he'll be dealing with you at least a little bit and reviewing all the work. So again, Pat is 13 years into the business now. I mean, that's 14 years into here. We were September 8th, 2008 is when we started. We opened on a Monday. The stock market crashed on Thursday. It was great timing, but it's been up and up since. But again, Pat is kind of my purchase go-to guy, and he'll be the one you're dealing with on the inside. He gets to do all the hard work. I kind of get to go out and do all the fun sales. I get to do the CE, and I get to go play golf, and go lunch and happy hours and all that good stuff. All right, example brokerage on the left for me. It's pretty cut and dry. I feel it should have some kind of twist on it. I can see Pat's taking a design element of that slash through the X and put it through his K. So he's just kind of taking the design elements that example brokerage is already building, and he's putting it into his name. But let's take a look at what we do next. I don't know why I like a little cursive or something along those lines. Gives a little touch of class, or makes it feel classy. And so I threw a little great service every time. And then Pat threw that roof line in there. So my design element is the cursive. Pat's design element that he's thrown in is that roof line. So here's my sheet on what we use for my brokerage. So full logo, that big example brokerage, Ryan Phillips, great service every time. The linear logo, we kind of mixed it together and made it look like that. So again, all the same design elements, same fonts, same things like that. I'm putting it all out there. And then you can see in the picture in the middle with a little transparency over it, you can still see behind it. So we're presenting it the same way every time. Here's my color codes and even how we use the transparency. Tells you the fonts and the accent font. So again, I have specific ways I want my brand portrayed, and they're all laid out here. Let's look at Pat's. Pat's has that full logo with the roof line. Linear logo still has that roof line. Patrick Craycraft still pulling that design element of the slash of the K through it. His picture, he's throwing that roof line in there. So he's getting consistent with that design element. Everything he's putting out there has that roof line on it. And on the right side, again, the color codes, that slash he's got through his name and through example brokerage, the roof line, and then it tells you all the fonts and down below. The where. Where are you going to put your brand? And where are you going to put it consistently? Everywhere first is everywhere. We're going to talk about it. But first place, don't know where to start. Start with your business cards and your website. Incorporate all your design elements. I want your website to look like a more intricate version of your business card. And I want your yard signs to look like your business card, and so on and so forth. That you're putting your face on that bus bench stop. I want it to look like your website. Here's what we're talking about, consistent. Here's my business card on the left, some marketing material we push out on the right. So it's telling you again that we are using all the same design elements from one piece of branding to another to keep it together. And again, I know not many people are refining right now, but there are cash out refis. If anybody or whatever, I do in Ohio, $995 up to 250 grand. So it's really low price. Let's talk about Pat. Flyers and postcards. So across the top of his flyers and postcards, he's thrown that roof line on there. So that's his design element he's being consistent with. And then he's using all the same fonts, the same colors, and then down the bottom left, his full logo. And again, the top or the bottom right, he's using the same font that they're using for everything else. So on the right side, it should be as simple as, while it might be a just listed, it might be an in contract, might be a just sold. Same manner, same colors, same design elements. All you got to change is the picture, for one listing to the next and one status to the next. Minimal change, because that keeps your flyers looking consistent from one to the next. Your web presence, that social media post you put out, make it look exactly the same from one to the next. And, people won't know that, they see something come across your social media feed, and they shouldn't be able to tell the difference unless they're really studying of one you put out last month and one you put out yesterday. Make them look the same. So, it's again, people's brains will play tricks on them. And, oh, I've seen that. Or I have, Oh, I know that person. I know that house. Oh, wait, no, I don't. Or, it creates that feeling of familiarization that they know something about you. Yard signs, your own personal little billboards. Make sure your yard signs have all your design elements in it as well. First, make sure they are following the guidelines, the state of Ohio. But nevertheless, make your yard sign look like your website, look like your business card, look like your bus bench stop. What to brand? Basically, seeing everything. We want you to brand your business cards, your contracts, and your paperwork, housing flyers, and listing promotional material, everything you put out about your new listings or your sold listings, social media posts, and your profile. If they click on your main page, it should look, your main page on Facebook, it should look like your website as much as it can. Advertisements, yard signs, anything associated with your company, anything associated with your brand, put it on there in exactly the same manner. The how. So I'm going to throw some examples at you here that we use here that are inexpensive and easy to get to. Canva. I'm even starting to see commercials on TV for Canva. It's not that difficult to use. Adobe Creative Cloud Express. That's free. Once you get in there, you'll figure it out. It's not hard to do. Keeping Matters Current and Fiverr. Has anybody here used Fiverr? Jacob, Edward, Liza, anybody? Has anyone used Fiverr for anything? If you haven't, and you have some kind of material you want to put out, whether it be like an infographic that's comparing how much rent is and how much mortgage is, and even if rates have gone up, it's still better than paying 100% interest on rent, so on and so forth. You're going to give these people at Fiverr your brand elements, everything we've talked about, your colors and your fonts and all that good stuff. They'll put out an infographic for pretty inexpensive, maybe $25. It depends on, and then I think you'll get a repetitive discount if you go through the same designer over and over again. But it's an easy way if you're not that familiar with it, or if you haven't worked with Adobe Creative Cloud or something along those lines that much yourself. There's people out there that do, and they do it for inexpensively. So here's Keeping Current Matters. So they're asking you to put your design elements in there. It's all of these companies, all of these places will save your design elements. You can set up your own profile so that next time you go log back in, you're going to be able to create your material even easier. So this is Adobe. This is the one that Anne uses. She does most of her work through Creative Cloud, and it's custom designed for what we are trying to do here. Makes it so much easier. Look, add your brand. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to have your profile page. We're going to upload your logo, pick your color. So like we said, we can't just say blue because they're going to say what blue. So we need to know the code for that. And then it talks about your font and then anything else. So it's going, next time you go in, all that information will be saved in there, and it'll be that much easier for you to present your material, or to design your material. So there it is afterwards. Pat did his. He added his logo. He added his colors. He added his font. And now here's how the material's starting to look on the right-hand side with those colors, with those fonts, with those design elements. It's already knowing what you're going for. It knows what you're trying to build, and it'll get smarter as you go. It's kind of weird. So again, more examples of the design elements that Pat's going to use. That slash through his K and the roof line and the right colors. So again, we're going to present it. We want to present it consistently. These softwares make it easy to do. Again, colors. You add that hex code. We've added Pat's primary orange and black here, keeping the blue as keeping that consistent color pattern going. And here's the fonts. He's uploaded his fonts, so the website's going to know. All right, his go-to font is that, and it's going to automatically plug that in. So now here's a finished product. Pat's made an in-contract flyer for one of his properties. So you're looking at this. Is the right 1/4 of that flyer ever going to change under what I'm talking about? Nope. The only thing you're going to need to change is the address, the picture, and the status. So each time you log back in, it's going to be so easy to make a new flyer, just changing those elements, but keeping the right-hand side consistent, making it familiar, building that trust, because you're presenting it over and over and over again. You know, someone on the outside looking in, not in our industry or whatever, when you go from just listed to in contract to sold, you're getting 3 advertisements there to build that trust. And then, anyone on the outside looking in, it's going to be a little, they're going to be, oh, I saw that house or whatever. Oh, it's already in contract. They're doing a good job, or it's already sold. That's great, or whatever. It's getting us to our goal, which is we want your customers to be so familiar with you, ready, that we want this to happen. Can I click on it? Hold on a second. We're getting there.
The following is a paid message for a chip so iconic, we don't need to name it. Because this is an ad with no logos, no jingles, no gimmicks. Just those red and blue bags with the stuff you love in it. 3 sides to this story. It's the corner store crunch that had you trade your buddies for it if they packed a pack at lunch. No logo, but our name stays on the tip of your tongue when you're shaking for crumbs once that bag is done. Man, you know the brand. Felt the dust, asked for one, doubled up, hit the shelf and called dibs on that last bit. This is that sweet, cheesy, salty, spicy, crispy, crunchy, flavor-packed bodega snack that rhymes with, I need those. The chip that changed the game in bag greatness. You can taste it. But an ad with no logo? It's another level.
All right, I'm back. What didn't they say in that? Where'd they go? Share. Leverage your. Sorry, folks. I'm just it looks like it's going to one of the boys' slides, not mine. So, how much do you think Doritos paid to make that commercial? How much did they pay to air that commercial? I think it was a Super Bowl ad, and so they did all of that, and we're so familiar with it, they didn't even bother to put the name in there. So again, the goal is to create a brand, to use it consistently, increase the visibility of the brand through pushing out content, and then gain clients' trust, win more clients. That's what we're trying to do. So what we learned, brand definition, it's more than just your logo. It's all the elements put together. Brand consistency, putting it out there in a consistent manner. We want you to just change minor things when you're pushing out marketing material. Why? We know why. Because we want to build trust before someone even meets us. The how, and that we're here to help. So just saying that, Anne's a graphic designer. She can push this stuff out in minutes. So if you guys need help with something, if you're just looking for little ideas, reach out to us. And we're here to help get you going, or here to help provide you with some material. Remember you. All right, this is a step in getting them to remember you. So if how many people in here use a CRM? I'm going to go off a little bit on a tangent here. How many people in here use a CRM? Is it CRM that your brokerage provides? A CRM that you provide yourself? Folks, it's the easiest way to communicate with a ton of people. We use one, Big Purple Dot's the name of the one we use. what's better than just dropping a name and an email and a phone number into the system, and then your automated campaign takes over so that it's reminding your past clients or potential clients 3 times a month that you're the best realtor out there. Just got to pound it into there. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Using a CRM for things like this, a CRM is the easiest way to get your clients to remember you with the least amount of work. Do you find marketing material overwhelming or complicated to get started? Maybe we helped you with that. Maybe we pointed you in the right direction as to where to get started. Do you want a marketing strategy? Don't know where to start? Feel like you got at least the first step of a plan now? You feel like you can maybe just, all right, build on what your brokerage has already made, all that good stuff. So use all that to get going. You want your clients to trust you before they even meet you? I think I know what the answer to that is. You want it to be yes. You definitely, we know the answer to that is yes. So one of the best ways to do this is to present your brand in a consistent manner, time and time again. Make them feel like they trust you. Make them feel like they already know you. Not just a marketing question, title question. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Even if it's on a title deal. The classes go a little faster when I don't have that face-to-face interaction. I can't, we can't talk about these things a little more back and forth. Typing is too hard, and I'm the only one that gets to talk. But all right, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back. We have another class right after this about content marketing, and hopefully it's something you can use. Give me a few minutes, and we'll be back here at about 5 till 11.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, now you can hear me. All right.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. Okay, sorry. What I did was, we have another class called Google My Business. And Google My Business is how to get your listing or your business listing to show up in what they call the Google 3-pack. So when I Google Realtor, Logan County, Ohio, first, of course, I get the ad. I get a realtor.com and they're paying to come up first. What some of the stuff I'm going to talk about here in content marketing is going to help you get to, okay, it's no more focus on my phone, but it'll help you get to the listings right under the map that are there for the content they're pushing out, reviews they're getting, and everything else that Google likes to see you use to get pushed up the search rankings. So we'll talk about that's when we're talking about 4 types of business boosting content. That's what I want. It's Google is looking, 1, are you using all their tools, and then 2, are you staying active on your page? Is it are you pushing out for reviews? Are you responding to reviews? Are you putting content on there daily or however often it takes to push yourself up? So business boosting content is what that is. All right, let's get to the guy that shouldn't be driving. So this again is saying it's a noisy world. You have so many people pushing stuff at you, or we pushing stuff at potential clients on a daily basis. You got to stand out and just save money at Geico, or it's kind of the old way. We need to speak to them, not at them. So speak with them, not at them. Interruption marketing is dead. It's commercials suck, and that's a good thing. In 1970s, consumers were exposed to 500 ads a day. Today, they see up to 5,000. Whether you're going through your social media feed or whatever, it seems like in social media feeds, every 3 or 4 or 5 posts is an ad for something. So you're just constantly being bombarded with advertisements, and so are your potential clients. No one wants to hear that. We do away with interruption marketing, we're going to call it, and that was just you putting your name out there, part of a brand or whatever, but it didn't have anything to offer to potential clients that would engage them and bring them to you. So that's what we're trying to do. It's saying old marketing is you looking for customers. So okay, you've pushed out your listing flyers, you've pushed out your advertisements, you've done a billboard in town, and while all this helps with branding, it's nothing that's going to engage a client. It's nothing that's going to make a potential client feel like you're speaking directly to them. Like what it is they're looking for. So what we want the new marketing to do is you pushed out some kind of content, it engaged a potential client and brought them into you, and then there's a process for what we want you to do next. Traditional marketing talks at people. Content marketing talks with them. So and I know what's a better option here. Traditional marketing is just you spewing out why you're the best. Content marketing is telling them that what they're looking for. You're the expert in the subject that they care about. Content marketing, what is it? Here's the definition of it. A strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and retain a clearly defined audience and ultimately drive profitable customer action. So one of the big things I'm going to talk about over and over again here is target audience. When I do these classes in person, and I ask the agents there in front of me, how far will you go for a deal? I cover the whole state of Ohio. That's a very common answer. For this exercise, I want you to pick a strategic, just to pick a local target audience. So while it might be a subdivision, or it might be Bell Fountain, or it might, it could be anything. I want you to customize your quote around, or sorry, customize your marketing around that target audience. I don't want a shotgun approach here. Again, just going to everybody. So, you're putting out, let's see, I'm going to use Bell Fountain over and over again. Let's say, and I know Jason Duff is pushing out things that are relevant to downtown Bell Fountain. Oh, sorry about that. And so, that could be a resource, things like that. And then I'll talk about, other approaches you could take to that to customize your marketing towards the Bell Fountain market. Why content marketing? A couple of stats of recent research that is that content marketing is quickly becoming the fastest way to attract and convert customers. 78% of consumers prefer to get to know a company via articles rather than ads. So again, an ad is speaking at them. An article speaks with them. 70% believe that organizations providing custom content are interested in building good relationships with them. So this guy's really trying to get Bell Fountain. This guy's really showing what Bell Fountain has to offer, and he's talking about how great Bell Fountain is, and so on and so forth. And then it's going to say benefits of content marketing. It builds trust and rapport. So we went through the last one. We've customized your brand, and we've put it together consistently. And all of our things that we're pushing out look the same. So again, build trust and rapport by pushing out that branded content. Attract new prospects. That's what we're all trying to do. Trying to get new buyers and sellers all the time. Provide solutions to client problems. You've got a lot of resources in this business, and a lot of the fear of buyers and sellers is not knowing how the process works. How many times, real quick, here's a great example of one. How many people here have worked with a first-time home buyer? So a handful of us here, of the ones in here, how many have worked with a first-time home buyer? Anyone? Anyone with a first-time home buyer? Okay. How many of those first-time home buyers thought they paid you a commission? How many of them thought that they did? How much do I owe you for this? How much did anyone legitimately, the first-time home buyer think they paid the realtor commission? Anybody have that, under their belt where they had to explain that? Well, if they didn't, you informed them very well. See, Edward, it's not the same. They did. It's right there. There's a piece of content marketing for you right there, where you explain that in your social media posts or whatever it might be. That's a great piece of content marketing, because everyone. Okay, Jacob said no, but everyone else. Angie says, yeah, almost that first-time buyer thinks they're paying the commission. That's a great piece of content, because that's a client problem. That's a client doubt. That's a fear they have. So that'd be a great one to design a piece of content marketing around. And then also, what else is all of this going to do? It's back to build your online presence. What I was talking about for Google My Business. Just pushing out content pushes you up search rankings. So use all of these things to make yourself more prominent on the internet. Content marketing is the key to modernizing your strategy and driving more traffic. So that's what content marketing is designed to do, is change that just you in their face, pick me, pick me, pick me, to, hey, let's have a discussion about what it is you're looking for, or what problem I can help you solve. So we're gonna set up a campaign based around what content has engaged them. And here's the next step. You've chosen a target audience. You're pushing out that content relevant to that target audience. If it's first-time home buyers, that's your target audience. So everything you're going to push out is relevant to them. I'll tell you right now, first-time home buyers are a great target audience because there's a lot of content available, and they're, once they've got the idea in their head, I need to buy a house, they're involved. They're going to click on the things you want to, that you're pushing out that speak to them. Let's talk about the science of content marketing. There's 5 steps. First, I'm going to take a drink. All right. First step, you've chosen a target audience. Second step is you push out what they call lead magnets. It's things that pull them to you. Third step, for lack of a better thing, is that you get them to like you. You get them to like your content, or really you get them to provide you with that name, email address, and phone number. And then after you get that information, you're going to set up a campaign and nurture that relationship with content that's relative to what they've already clicked on or what they've shown interest in. Step 5 is to convert them. All right, step 1, identify your target. Is it buyers? Is it sellers? Is it Gen Y? Is it baby boomers? Is it a vacation home seekers? Identify that target audience. There's the Central Ohio market, Columbus MLS, has over 10,000 agents. You need to stand out. You need to speak with them. You need to provide content that's going to grab their attention. And let's talk about, maybe target audience you chose. Let's talk about Mark and Melissa, Generation Y, age of 32 and younger. Mark and Melissa are searching for their first home in an up-and-coming urban area. There's plenty of competition in the neighborhood. How can you convince Mark and Melissa to choose you over hundreds of other agents? When you go on Zillow or Realtor.com and you push in that address, and that slew of stuff pops up on the right. It's you're competing with all that. You're competing with these people that have paid. Excuse me. And so we'll talk about 79% of home buyers 32 and younger are first-time home buyers. All right, so that's what we talked about. That's part of our target audience. So if we've chosen Gen Y as our target audience, back to what I was just saying, a lot of your content is going to be focused on a first-time home buyer. 30% of Gen Y cited paperwork as the most difficult part of the home purchasing experience. All right, so let's push out some content marketing that explains the paperwork to them. People always have questions about this process. People on the outside looking in always have questions about it. But a lot of them, for fear of sounding or looking stupid, don't want to ask the questions. So what if you put out material that answered these questions without them having to ask anyone a question? So it's something that will engage your target audience. 85% of Gen Y buyers purchased a previously owned home, more than any other group. So Gen Y is not going out and buying your $400,000 new build. They're buying a house in town. They're buying something that's, could be dozens, even 100 years old, whatever. Excuse me. So your content, if you've chosen that, isn't going to be the new subdivision going up outside of Marysville or whatever. It's going to be targeting. You're going to be talking to them about older homes that, statistically speaking, are what they're buying. 75% of younger buyers said the most valuable benefit their agent was helping them to understand the process. You've got a lot of resources in this business. You have title guy. You guys all have a mortgage guy. Go to them for content. Go to your mortgage person for content to help. I know plenty of first-time home buyers that went through the process that they didn't even think they would have the credit score to get a home, or they didn't think that the down payment was a giant obstacle. You have resources in this business to push out content from those resources that helps set these people's mind at ease. It helps them get over the fear of the fact that they might not be able to buy a house. Gen Y buyers are concerned about the commuting. 62% said a convenient commute was a top factor in the neighborhood choice. So, and commuting, that could be a loose term. People working from home or, whatever. They work, if they're buying a house in Urbana and they work in Springfield or whatever, it could be loose. How about, I think Gen Y people want to be able to walk to things. They want to be able to walk to a bar or a restaurant or something like that in town. We've already determined they're buying an older house. And we've also determined that they want things to be convenient. So content, marketing around what it is that Gen Y, those first-time home buyers, are looking for. 43% said commuting costs were the most important environmental factor in buying a home. So again, that's, my office here in Columbus is in German Village. And so a lot of the people around here in the neighborhood where my office is work right downtown. The commute, that played a part in why they chose that home. So you're going to dig up content that speaks to them or speaks with them about their fear of commuting or convenience. All right, let's talk about the next one. Let's talk about Paul and Edna, baby boomers, age 55 and older. Paul and Edna are looking to downsize and move closer to their kids. Getting a ranch floor plan is a must. And how can you convince Paul and Edna to choose you over hundreds of other agents? 52% of baby boomers are concerned about the location of their next home. So if your target audience is baby boomers, it's a little bit broader because there's different factors that don't exactly have as much custom or easy content to find, but nevertheless it's out there. 30% are motivated to move by affordability. They're downsizing. They don't need the 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath house anymore with a giant yard and all that stuff. And the next says 49% want to downsize because they want a simpler lifestyle. So you're going to convince them that the condo they're looking for, or what it is that's going to simplify their life a little bit and make it easier for them to have more time to do the things they really want to do. And 22% are interested in buying a second home. So maybe it's Indian Lake. Maybe you're pushing out content about Indian Lake, and that might be what might be your target audience if there's people looking to move to the lake or to at least get a second home by the lake. All right, so that was step one. We've chosen our target audience. No shotgun approach. We picked a group and we're going to run with it. All right, step two, attract your target market by providing relevant content. It's also known as a lead magnet. Again, we have those first-time home buyers. They're scared to death of the mortgage paperwork or the mortgage process. So your lead magnet's going to be, this is how easy it is to get a home loan, or this is how easy it is to see if you're qualified. Put out something that shows it's a lot easier than most people think to get a home loan. So give away valuable information to your target audience. And it's not valuable in the fact that it costs money. It's valuable in the thing that it provides value to them. It's something they need. Explaining the process, start to finish. What if you did I have a hard time with this with us also. How many people in here have done a video for their real estate content? How many people have done one? I always feel it's a little bit narcissistic or something. Whatever. I kind of have a hard time with it. But it's how many people have had the courage to do a video. Okay, Liza has. So what if you sat down and did a video, just a little podcast or something to put on your social media of, hey, I'm sitting here with Bob Smith from First Federal Savings Bank of Bucyrus, or First Federal Community Bank of Bucyrus, and we're going to talk about how easy it is to get a loan. That's something that people will engage. A first-time home buyer will be into that. So that's If the first-time home buyers, your target audience for all this stuff we're doing, pull your resources in, pull your title guy in. I'd sit down, do a video with you, and maybe have them explain. We can explain, what a title search is, and what'll happen at closing, or what'll happen with a title company from start to finish, and how the realtor plays a part in that, and how we, facilitate. We're the hub of the transaction, and we're bringing the buyer, we're bringing the seller, we're bringing the lender, we're bringing the agents, we're bringing everybody, the surveyor, everybody in, the attorney doing the deed, bringing everybody together to that central point. We'll just explain to them how it works. So if they were scared of the process, let's put out content that simplifies the process for them. Put out good content, share it on the relevant platform that's winning the attention the people that you want to reach. So how many baby boomers are on TikTok? So if your target audience is baby boomers, are you pushing out much content on TikTok? I don't think so. So again, it's pick the right platform to share this content. Baby boomers, you are limiting yourself a little bit as to what platforms you're going to use and what content you're going to push out. But if you've nailed a neighborhood, or you've nailed a first-time home buyer, or something along those lines, it's going to make it pretty easy for you to generate content about that subject. And here's kind of the way it's looked at. The new way on the left is to educate and inform. Man, this person's really taking a lot of my anxiety about the process away. And the way on the right is pick me to be your realtor. Now, I'm not telling you why, just pick me because I put my name on this sign. Whatever. It's let's educate and inform our target audience rather than interrupting and just tell them to pick you. All right, step 3, capture contact information to provide knowledge directly. Excuse me. Again, I'm going to go back to it. I mentioned a CRM a lot. In August of 2019, a mortgage friend of mine, that I do these CE classes with. We do every second Tuesday of the month. We do a 4 different classes. It's pretty good. But we started using him. He was one of our partners in it, and he would load these people that would sign up for the class. They'd all be in our CRM, so that they got reminders. They got, class starts in 15 minutes. They get a text. They get an email. And then he showed me. I said, I really like to see how you're using your CRM. He said, well, come here on Friday, and I'll show you. So I sat down there with him, first couple hours on a Friday morning, and showed me that his CRM was communicating with thousands of people a day, and all he did was drop their contact information in there. Find yourself a CRM. If you've got questions about it, you're not using one, you don't have one, reach out to me. Let me know. Big Purple Dot is the one I always recommend because it's the one I know the most about. It's not this big mega one that's super expensive and has way too many toys that I'd never use. It's not some little one that cannot change. It only fits into a little box and that's it. Big Purple Dot's medium size, where if I call right now, someone answers the phone. So, and they'll help you upload your content, your contact list. But so again, CRM people, CRM. Reach out after this. One of the classes that my mortgage partner does is on the CRM. He kind of, when he saw how I like to use it. So when I started, he showed me that in August of 2019. COVID hit in March, and I couldn't go see anybody anymore. I couldn't, I wasn't going to visit realtors. I wasn't going to visit mortgage people. Yet the market was turning into one of the hottest markets ever. So I still wanted to find a way to get in front of these people and capture more business while not being able to go out and get it. So I remember that last slideshow we did, the last class we did, I showed you that one thing about the $995 refinance. We all know that everybody and their brother refied during COVID. So what I was able to do is push out a nice used car sounding thing of $995 to all the contents I had gathered over the years. I had dropped them into the CRM, and then before you know it, I'm sending out 1,500 emails every other day. I'm sending 500 texts out a day, closing 600 deals a month, and 250. One month I looked at it, 243, 47, something like that, of the 660 we did that month were people I had never, ever met. And I had just started doing business with them because they got my mass email. And then I did that for 2 years. And, remember that thing we looked at in the last class also that said how many steps that they before they actually pay attention to your ad? I had a guy that had been on my drip campaign for 2 years and reached out and said, all right, you're consistent and you're staying on it. You're constantly following up. Which he didn't know that it was CRM doing it. It wasn't me doing it. I wouldn't hit send. So I'm going to send you a deal. I went and looked. It was the 18th time I had contacted that guy that he finally responded. 18 times. It was one email a month and a text every other month. And it was the 18th time that guy had been contacted. So again, it just shows that 20-step thing we looked at, maybe it's dead on true. So again, that for a CRM, you to set up your CRM to, all right, I just dropped Bob Smith's contact info in there because he went to something I posted, grabbed his attention. He ended up on my landing page right here. He gave me his name and he gave me his email. And that was enough for me to load him in the CRM and then push out stuff for him for 2 years. And maybe that 20th time he was, maybe he wasn't ready to buy a house. But now not only is he ready, you've been in front of him for 2 years. Get a CRM, people. I'm going to keep saying it. Get a CRM. All right. Landing page. Are we doing the landing page today?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So at the end of this class, there's a link going to come up. You're going to end up on my landing page. I'm going to ask you some information. And there you go. It's going to, you're going to get your CE certificate. Again, that CE certificate's not going to have your name and your license number on it. We will send that into the state ourselves. Give us probably be about 72 hours. That'll be done. But nevertheless, you'll have that certificate for your record to say you took these 2 1-hour classes. But again, you're going to, I'm pushing out right here. This is content marketing in it. I got something that realtors want. CE class, CE credit for free. And, it doesn't cost me anything but some time. And to me, it's just straight marketing and talking about how I close anywhere, anytime. And we have some of the lowest costs in the state. But that's beside the fact. I've done a giant 2-hour piece of content marketing right here for you guys so that then you guys, all right, you're interested. You want that certificate. So guess what? You're going to click on my landing page. You're going to give me your name and your email and bang. That's how you're going to get your something of value, something you want. But there's a few of these. There's a lot of these. There's, how many people, home valuation tool, how many people have have one of these on their website or have pushed out content that has one? How many people have done a home valuation tool? I have an agent friend of mine that does SmartZip. And this is one of the big things on SmartZip. SmartZip, I don't know if anybody's ever used it. Sorry, I go off on a lot of tangents, but I've seen a lot of things in this business over the years. SmartZip uses a whole bunch of analytics that I don't even comprehend. It's looking at people's online, it's stalking them, watching their online shopping habits and what sites they're visiting to determine if, all of a sudden these guys are looking at Coldwell Banker, looking at stuff in their neighborhood showing, how many homes have sold, looking at Zillow or, Realtor.com or whatever, to see how many homes sold. Now they're going to Home Depot and they're starting to freshen up. They're getting a whole coat of paint for the house, or they're getting some new carpet or whatever. So it's taking all that and then it puts together. Also, it does the thing, like how many people have, you went on Walmart.com yesterday and today on your social media page, all of a sudden Walmart's popping up in your social media feed or on the right-hand side or something like that. It's doing all that. And then it determines what it feels are the top 20% more likely to people to sell and the top 10%. So the top 20% get a letter once a month. And in that letter is a QR code for them to scan that takes them to my friend, the agent's home valuation tool. Now, he can tweak it to where the home valuation tool kind of gives a fluff value. Yeah, however you feel about that, doesn't matter. But it gets them interested. Now all right, I dropped my home valuation here. Get home value. You bet your sweet patootie that when he hit get your home value on there, it's going to ask him for your email address and their contact info. Lead capture. Here's another one. So you pushed out a piece of content, the essential guide to selling a home. All of you agents here, I could ask you right now, give me 6 ways a person could get their house ready for sale, and all of you could just regurgitate them, put them right out. But so you put that out there, they clicked on it, and they got through the first 2 of your suggestions. And on the third one, it says, "Give me your information. We'll talk more." So then they put in that information, and then they get all the information that you were going to talk about with how to get their house ready for sale. Single property microsites. I think these are pretty cool. It makes the seller feel special. It makes makes it like you're putting the property up on a pedestal. But when I go to 123mainstreet.com and I'm starting to click, oh, look at the pictures on it, and you get to the third picture, it stops and says, "Give us your contact info." It says, put it all on there. So it's a good. Really, what this whole step is talking about is how to get that information, put out content that's interesting them, and then you're going to get that information so you can set up that campaign to nurture around whatever content engages them. A video market snapshot. I've seen dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of people putting out something of, here's the homes last year, and here's the home sales this year, or here it is now, and here's what it'll be next year. With a bunch of. When you put out an article like that, the people read it in the voice in their head, and they it's just their voice they're hearing. If you presented any information, anything like this in a video, they're seeing your face and they're hearing your voice. Again, that's building trust with them, isn't it? So you might want to think about, rather than just posting something about, whatever neighborhood or whatever town or whatever on your social media page, do a little video about it. You can be talking about it. You can share screen in your ad and say, "Oh, look, they're talking about median sales price, in Clark County and how it's gone up over the past 24 months or whatever." Do a video, maybe do a little video and talk about that rather than just posting some article. One more thing about video is, again, I go back to that Google My Business page we do. Google likes it when you use their toys. If you've got your map embedded in the Google Map embedded in your website, and then you're using YouTube to put out video content. Anybody know who owns YouTube? Anyone? Yeah, it's Google. Google. So if you're using Google's toys, it'll help you get found better in searches. Here's one last example. The definitive guide to first-time home buying. I've got this one for you. I'll give you this one. You reach out to me after class and can take a definitive guide to first-time home buying and customize it to your content. Throw your logo on it or make it look like your brand. And then she'll send it back to you. And it's just a piece you can put out there. So again, you're going to put it out there, engage that audience. They'll click on it because I want to know more. I want to know about more about what it's like buying a house because I'm a first-time home buyer and I think I have to pay the commission. So this little guide is just one piece of content that can engage your audience. Here's what not to do. Don't ask them to marry you on the first date. Don't ask for too much information, because and I know if they did give you that address, first thing you're doing is looking that up, aren't you? So don't ask for too much information. Just get their name. They're your target audience. They've engaged your content. Get the name, get the email, get the phone number. That's it. Get the rest later. Let's talk about examples of landing pages. Which one's ours through now? Squarespace. Yep, that's right, through our full website. So here's some examples of inexpensive landing pages to harvest that data that we're trying to get. It's each of these have some level of free or limited offer trial. You can test it out. You know, many of you would prefer a system, not only for capturing leads like those do, but also for lead management platform, things like that. So these, a lot of these are simple ones. They kind of just where to start, and they might, you probably have to dive in or pay a little more money to get it to sort the information you want it to sort. All right. Step 4, we're going to nurture this campaign. We are going to build and maintain a relationship by building a drip campaign to follow up. What are we going to use to do that? CRM. So build and maintain a relationship. So you've put out a piece of content. It engaged them. They went to your landing page because you put out the definitive guide to being a first-time home buyer. They went to your landing page. They put in their contact information. They're curious about being a first-time home buyer. So what's your campaign going to focus on? First-time home buyers. So you're going to gather as much first-time home buyer content as you can. You're going to talk to your mortgage person. You're going to talk to your title person. You're going to talk to your home inspector. You're going to talk to anybody. There's a ton of resources for you guys in this business. Reach out. I'm sitting here doing this class because I want realtor business. And this kind of gives me a lukewarm lead. If I call Jacob Grimm after class, he's at least going to know who I am. So it's a lukewarm lead. All of these other people I'm talking about, they want your business as well. Home inspectors, mortgage people, they want your business as well. So they'll do what they can do to help you because it's something of value to you. And then when they come calling for your business, it's not just a cold call. It's I have something to offer to help you get more customers. All right. And I've said it over and over and over again. Email automation is top producer, Chime, Big Purple Dot. You're broke. A lot of people have a brokerage provides them one. Now, if there's any brokers on here, sorry, don't mean to upset you. But folks, if you're using your broker's CRM, who really owns your contact list? Your broker does. So if you leave, it's there. So nevertheless, I would always recommend having your own CRM. All right, step 5, convert them. That's what we want. That's the exercise. That's the goal of this whole exercise is to convert these people. So you have been pushing out content for 16 months to your target audience. Put out a bunch of stuff that has engaged them. They've clicked on it. You've got them. You've got this campaign going. You've been emailing them now for 16 months, telling them about being a first-time home buyer, pushed out all kinds of content, got with your mortgage person, title person, appraiser, inspector, all of them, insurance agent. That's another big one. Think about how many partners you have in this business that can help you generate this content. So now you want to sell them a house, help them sell their house. So it's the most important part of the process is converting. But you're not going to convert them without earning that trust, right? So you've picked your target audience. You've started pushing out content. Is that content branded just like the rest of your stuff is branded? Hell yeah, it is. So sending out content that all of a sudden they're familiar with you. You have converted them. They're like, hey, hey Bob, we decided, we want to start looking for a house, and a lot of the information you've been putting out really spoke to me. It was, really the anxiety I had about applying for a mortgage. You pushed out this video a few months ago with your loan officer buddy. After that, I felt totally at ease about the process. Bang, we're going to convert them. All right, let's review that. Content marketing, 5 steps. Pick a target audience. Again, no shotgun approach, people. I want you to pick a target audience. I want to attract them with content that's relevant to that target audience. And then I'm going to capture them through my lead page or my landing page. And so now I've got that email address and phone number, and I know what they're interested in because they clicked on something that was relevant to what they're interested in. So now my campaign to nurture that lead is going to be centered around that content that engaged them. We're going to convert them. We're going to sell them a house. All right, let's talk about some types of business boosting content. Articles. Articles are everywhere. It's your brokerage probably has stuff ready to go. Ebooks, a thing I just talked to you about, the definitive guide to first-time home buying. We can help you with something like that. Brand it to your, brand it to your specifications. Infographics. Again, are any of these things going to change the world? Hell no. But it's just content that you're pushing out that's going to get you found, make you relevant in online searches in your market. And then at the bottom, video. Again, all of these, an article could be done in the form of a video. Talk about that article in your video. Ebooks or articles. So we talked a little bit about these. There's an infinite source of them. And again, we definitive guide to first-time home buyer. I can make it look pretty, make it look like it's yours. And create a downloadable guide for new home buyers in the area, explaining the process from start to finish, including unique insights about your community. Something you build on it. It's step by step. You could almost make a storyline out of it by bringing in the other parties that are involved in the transaction by making a video with them. Ebook creators, it comes in the form of PDF. No need for fancy software. You can take a Word doc and turn it into a PDF. That's, it's simple to do. And then here it is. Again, it's examples of it. There's companies out there that want your business that have things to offer that you can put out. And probably the best place to start would be your brokerage. I'm sure they have a lot of stuff that they can, that you can use. It's already approved by them, so it makes it easy. It's already in all your colors. It's already in all your branding. It's easy to use. I just want you pushing out content. You don't know what that potential future client's going to click on, where you're going to strike that and you're going to hit that nerve of, oh, that's something I'm scared of or something I'm curious about or whatever it might be. Infographics. This is the dumbing down of information to explain it to the masses. It's just usually it's a comparison or a home sale price. It's just information that you're simplifying. And this goes back to Fiverr or Liza. I'm sure can make these things easily on her Canva account. So it's just content. Well, here we go. Homes cross country selling fast, or whatever. Should I buy or wait till next year? They were a little off on their interest rates there, I think, on the right. But nevertheless, it's just content. You're trying to find that thing that's going to engage this client to put them into your database and set up that campaign to nurture that relationship to land them as a client. Here, I can make it look like my stuff. I can push out things that look like this. It's just simple things, putting it out there that I've got content, so that's pushing me up search rankings, and something that I push out might really interest your potential client. Okay, infographic creators. These are the same people we talked about. This is the same stuff we talked about. Keeping current matters, Fiverr, Adobe Spark. Again, that's updated. That's Adobe Creative Cloud. And so, again, these are people that, these are places you can go, and very inexpensively to get these things created for your posts. Video. Talk about video. Video is a great idea. Again, it's your face, it's your voice, it's building that trust a little bit more. That now they know you just because they clicked on a video. They're moving to your target your market from out of the state. They've shown interest in Marion, and they've got something that's taken them there, and so now they're looking at real estate in Marion, and then Angie Gibbons keeps popping up, and there's a video of Angie. Oh, there's another video of Angie or whatever, and all of a sudden they feel like they know Angie. So it's building that trust. It's building that rapport. They're seeing your face. They're hearing your voice. It does light years of good for into that relationship faster and building that trust faster. 73% of homeowners say they're more likely to list with an agent who offers to make a video for them. You know, they want that walkthrough of the house, or that virtual walkthrough, or a video, or, you know, even if it's you, like almost doing a selfie video of the house, you know, talking about, you know, look at this owner suite, look at this view out there, you know, look at the woods, you know, whatever. It's content. You know, while you may make a professional listing video, make your own video of you engaging with the house yourself. Make that on the side. 70% of home shoppers want to virtually tour the inside of a home. You know, it's, you know, if someone finds your home on realtor.com or, you know, your brokerage's website, and there's 15 pictures and the 16th picture is a video tour, which one are you going to think they're going to click first? They're going to click that video tour. So again, it's the power of video and how it makes them feel like they're there, or that they know the person in the video. Home shoppers viewing videos are 70% likely to purchase than those who don't. It's just showing again that if they're getting into the video part, they're a little more serious about it. It's a big influence. Video is kind of changing how real estate is done, and don't be afraid to try it. All right, back to SEO. Everybody know what SEO means? SEO is search engine optimization. You have content on your website that is relative to what the terms are they just searched. If they just searched Urbana real estate and they did it on Google, and you're pushing out a lot of fresh content, you're asking your clients and getting reviews and acknowledging those reviews, and you're using YouTube to put out video, you are a Google sweetheart. Google loves you. So guess what? When they search Urbana real estate, because of everything you've done, all the effort you've put in, you are going up and up and up and up the search rankings. So, you know, and a lot of people know this. You know, we know the first 2 or 3 people, especially in, you know, mid to major markets or whatever, just paying to be there. A lot of people searching that, they know that, oh shit, right down there into the market is Angie with 27 reviews, and she's got a very active page, and she's posting videos, and bang, she's going to get found first. That's, you know, someone's going to engage with that person rather than someone who paid. Someone's going to engage with Angie because of that. Video builders, a lot of them are the same thing. Keeping Current Matters, Magisto, Animoto. There's easy ways to make a video. You know, really a ring light in your iPhone, that gets the job done. You don't need to get crazy with this stuff. You can just go, you know, make your video and upload it to YouTube. You don't have to do all this crazy stuff, or that costs a bunch of money. Keep it simple, but people still love it. All right, let's talk about 8 proven and ready to use content ideas. There's a few things we can use that are there. It's you got questions and answers. You know, I've been doing this for 28 years. I still like to think I learn something new every day. And, you know, whether it's something I remember, maybe not, but, yesterday was a reverse 1031. I had no idea what the hell a reverse 1031 was. And so that was my thing yesterday. You've been asked questions in this business. If you've been doing this for any length of time, think of the top 5 questions. And then again, I go back to people want to ask questions, but they feel stupid doing it. So think of the top 5 questions you've been asked in this industry, and just post them out there. And again, you might speak to someone, they don't want to ask that question. They say, oh, someone else asked that question. What's the answer to that question? I can find out. I can get a little smarter about this process without having to ask anybody. Quick tips. I said it before. You as agents could probably regurgitate a dozen things someone can do to their house without even seeing the house to make it more ready to list or to improve ROI. You guys know better than I do that if you spend $100,000 on a kitchen, I don't know what the exact number is, you're only getting 60 grand of it back through the sale. So, this kind of tell them, hey, what you should do to your house to get it ready and what you should expect if you spend this much or do this much or you're improving this. Quick tips. This is, you're engaging people. So we just got to find something for them to click on. Guides. buyer's guides, seller's guides, guides to picking a realtor. Those are all things you can probably easily find with your brokerage. If not, Google them on the internet and get them for free. Next one's client stories. Good, bad, ugly. I don't care. It's content. Put things out that answers questions that these people might have that they're too afraid to ask. So client stories is a great one. It's you and your mortgage partner might have a great story together about a client you dealt with, or something along those lines. Client stories are a good one. Local reviews. If you're trying to sell Bell Fountain and there's all those good little restaurants popping up that I can't even remember the name of that pizza joint right there on the square. It's really good, kind of a wood oven pizza place. But showing people that you're involved in the neighborhood or area that you've chosen as your target audience shows them that you know the place. You know what it is you're selling. So local reviews, something like that could be good. I don't care what the review is on. It's if giving a bad review to a place might not get you far. But if you do a good review to a car dealership or to whatever, you put on there, hey, I went and bought my new Honda and I dealt with Bob, the salesman, and he did an awesome job, was super informative, whatever. And this is just content. That's what we want. Put stuff out there. Podcasts and interviews. That's it. We're back to maybe talk to your mortgage person. We're going to talk about hey, what it is they need to know about applying for a mortgage, or how a title company works, or what grabbing a local celebrity or whatever it might be to talk about the neighborhood, talk about that spot that's your target audience. Neighborhood overviews. This is one way you can zero on that subdivision and look at all the sales in the last 12 months. Look at all whatever as far as the neighborhood overviews. So that's an easy one to do. I want you doing all of these, people. I want you doing all of them. Push out content. Market analysis. Okay, you could put it on an infograph. You could do, but wouldn't you be better off talking about it in a video? Wouldn't you be better off explaining it to them with your face, with your voice, building that trust a little bit more? Just talk about it. It's articles are easy for you to put out there, but make it a little more entertaining by talking about the article. Okay, closing. I specialize in that. That's what we do. To gain business, you must first gain trust. A lot of that is through your branding consistency, perceived as valuable and timely by your specific target audience through your ongoing effort of marketing your content. You've put something out there. They clicked on it. It's what they're looking for. Build the campaign around that. Do everything. Talk with them. Pick that target audience and just push out content that engages them. Get them to click on that one time. They clicked on the definitive first-time home buyer's guide, gave you their name, address, or email address and phone number. You say, all right, they're first-time home buyers. I'm dropping them into my CRM. I'm under my first-time home buyer drip campaign, and now I'm pushing content to them that speaks with what we know they're looking for. All right. Again, anybody have any questions about this stuff? See that associatestitutleinc.com /MOAR there, the MOAR. I need you to click on that, folks. Click on that. Click on that landing page for my content marketing and give me that information. So you're going to dump it in the, give me your name, email, all that good stuff. Remember that that certificate you get will not have your name or license number on it. It's just for your records. We'll submit the information to the state in 72 hours. If anybody is up against some kind of deadline, let us know as far as your license is going to get suspended. If you don't have it in tomorrow, let me know. But otherwise, 72 hours, and we'll get you in there and make sure you get credit for the class. And then anyone else, any questions? So where you guys are, I have a sales rep in Marysville, Kiara Tillman. I will be giving your information to her, and she'll come and call in. She's great. She's got a great personality. She's been in the business for a few years, so she knows the back end as well. And then we can get a little further involved and help each other get more business. Sound good? Okay. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Make sure you click on the link there. Give it up. We'll leave that up for a minute. Click on that link. Get your certificate for your records. We'll submit your information to the state. Otherwise, hopefully, I taught you something. Something that might make your life a little easier, just to engage with some audiences, or to get your branding campaign off and running, or whatever it is. And again, Ann and I are here to help. Ann is an awesome graphic designer. So call us if you need help with something. We're here to help. I don't want you to use us like Fiverr, but nevertheless, if you need help on this little marketing thing or whatever it is you're trying to push out, we might be able to make it for you. Okay. Everybody clicked? Everybody get? How they doing, Ann? Okay. All right. We're going to leave the class live. Click your certificate. Get your certificate. Please reach out to me with anything you need. You can text that 614-419-2418. Text there. Give me a call there. Whatever it is, that's my cell phone. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. Go out, sell some homes, and look forward to working with you. Talk to you later.